What is Please Give all about? And I'm curious about this, by the way, after having seen it.
Well, that should give you a little hint as to what the controversy will be. If you don't know what it's about, did you drift off?
Well, we're going to have disagreement on this, so this should be interesting.
It's from Nicole Holofcener. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing her name, but she also did a movie called Friends with Money, also with Catherine Keener, another film that I enjoyed very much, to give you a little preview of how I felt about Please Give. It's a story of Catherine Keener and Oliver Platt. They're a married couple, and they sell furniture that they buy from the kids of elderly New Yorkers who die. They buy it from the kids who have no clue what it costs or what it's worth. They buy it cheap. They know what it's worth. They sell it for a lot. Here's the trailer.
Are you hungry? Would you like this?
I'm waiting for a table.
I'm so sorry.
Really, we're very
Please
sorry.
forgive me.
You from the Salvation Army?
She's from a store on 10th Avenue. I mean, it's probably junk.
What do we ask for that?
$5,000.
That's great. Where do you find your stuff?
We buy from the children of dead people.
How nice.
How's your grandmother?
She's great. She's doing really well.
They look at me like, is she dead yet?
You're a vulture.
Us buying that apartment has absolutely no downside. Her grandmother gets to live there. We're not hovering.
Hi, Andra.
You're gaining weight.
Excuse me?
You gain weight.
It's her birthday in a couple of days, and I thought we'd have her over for dinner.
You joking?
You're a saint.
Make a wish.
All right, now I'm kind of in the middle on this, although my rating, I'll give you a preview already, is kind of high on it. Okay, so Ben, calm down. I actually like the movie.
I'll try very hard to remain calm.
Okay. But I feel like I could almost move the rating based on what you guys say, because I was so, in a lot of ways, I was torn by the movie and almost slightly confused. So let's start with Matt making the case against the movie, and then we'll go to Ben making the case for it.
Yeah, thank you. I did not like this movie at all. Let me start off by saying that the tomato meter is 80-something, low 80s, right? Certified fresh. So I'm in the minority. Something in this movie went right over my head, and I didn't like it. I found that I really was uninterested in Catherine Keener's character. I didn't buy that she was really feeling that guilty. It seems to be the story about her. She feels very guilty about what she does. She start to think, is she feeling guilty about taking advantage of people in their time of grief? I just didn't buy it. The whole conceit, I just didn't buy.
Well, you know what? Let me go further, Ben. Yeah. Even though I'm more on your side, I don't know what the movie was about. Like, what was the theme of the movie? Let me ask it that way. Okay, I mean, I get the plot, but what was the theme?
I don't know. I think the theme was about sort of conflict, about sort of who you imagine yourself to be and who you really are, about conflict, sort of internal conflict. I don't know that it was so much guilt as it was she was conflicted about who she was. You saw in the trailer there, and I left out in the description because it could have gone on and on, also conflicted about her relationship with her daughter, who has, I thought, wonderfully, for a change, seemed like a real teenager, full of pimples and slightly overweight, but still wants to buy the $200 jeans. And her husband, also overweight, but loves his wife, very charming, except wants to have sex with Amanda Peet, who's in it. And then Rebecca Hall.
Who wouldn't, right?
Who wouldn't, yes. And then Rebecca Hall, playing Amanda Peet's sister, really the other lead in the movie. They live next door. Catherine Keener and Oliver Platt have bought that apartment, and they're waiting for Rebecca Hall and Amanda Peet's grandmother to die so that they can redo their apartment. And you saw a wonderful scene of Catherine Keener try to give money to what she perceives to be a homeless guy, and it's just a black guy with a beard waiting for a table at a restaurant. Right. So she's always given money away to sort of make up for the conflict she feels about taking advantage of.
I know, but I'm not sure that was driving anywhere. Like, what did you get out of the movie? Why'd you like it?
I thought those were incredibly real people. I think Catherine Keener is an exceptionally gifted actress, one of the top 10 actresses working today, and I think she's better when she's the lead actress. I think when she's a supporting player, her characters, while she's still terrific, but her characters frequently become quirky. Like, oh, there's Catherine Keener being the Catherine Keener role. When she leads, and she certainly shares the lead here with Rebecca Hall, I think she's excellent. And I thought there was sort of the internal struggle of sort of wondering sort of who you are, being conflicted about your own priorities. Because there were moments when she was admittedly like no, can we put a pillow over her head? Can she die now so we can begin to expand our apartment so we can knock down the wall and have a better bedroom? And then I thought legitimately wants to give money away to sort of get at peace with herself. And this is a small movie. Those are small conflicts, but those are the kind of conflicts that I have most days.
I just couldn't feel I couldn't identify with her at all. The problem I had is the guilt that she seems to feel and the conflict. First of all, on a certain level, and maybe this is a lack of sympathy on my part, but, nobody's holding a gun to the bereaved's head, to sell that furniture. Like, on more than one occasion, you see people that they're buying furniture from who just say, I just want to get rid of it. Well, okay, so what's so wrong with making money? Like,
here was my real complaint about the furniture business there, which is that who's buying this crap? The fact that it's fashionable and hip drives me crazy.
But the other problem,
and then the thing is, nobody can, I can't tell the difference between something that's supposed to be junk and something that's supposed to be
here's the other problem I had with the movie is that I felt like almost every female character was some iteration of Nicole Holofcener, right? It's her as a mom, or it's her as a daughter having problems with her mom, or it's her as a younger girl dealing with the death of an obnoxious older relative, right? I felt like they were all kind of poorly shaded versions of herself at some point in her life. And the other issue I had is I thought that the two male characters were, and this will sound a little weird because you normally hear this complaint about female characters. I felt like the two male characters had no depth at all. At all. Mm-hmm. I thought that, okay, so is the husband supposed to be kind of an oaf? And, you're never given any realistic motivation for, the possible affair except for that Amanda Peet is hot.
That's all
the motivation
you need.
But seriously, like, if you're going to talk about real characters, I found that he was not a real character really at all because, again, I felt like there was nothing to drive him into that. And then the boyfriend that Rebecca Hall gets, I thought was really...
Thomas Ian Nicholas from American Pie.
I felt like there was nothing there either.
That's right. That's the guy, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, that's right.
That is.
Yeah.
He comes in and one of his early lines on the second date is talking about how, Rebecca as the technician that runs the mammogram machine, that must be a great job. She gets to play with boobs all day. Yeah, and I thought that is such the way that, a woman may think, a man may think about that job.
Right. I thought he was just trying to endear himself to her. I didn't love his character, but he wasn't. I didn't find that he was all that important.
All right. So here's I'm in between you guys, but I'm sticking to my original rating after having listened to your mini debate on it. Because look, I'm with Ben on the characters. I thought the characters were great. I thought Catherine Keener was fantastic, and it led me to believe, yes, she's definitely. I mean, it reinforces she's one of the top 10 actresses in the business, and she was different than she is in other roles. And I really liked her in that. I thought Oliver Platt's character was totally interesting.
Yeah, I thought he was great.
The boyfriend was nothing, but Oliver Platt I thought was fantastic. The problem with the movie is that there's no mystery. Like there's no a movie needs to drive you a little bit so you don't get. I don't want to say bored because I wasn't bored, but it was a little slow because there was nothing like what's going to happen around the corner. So I thought that was really missing. Wow. But at the same time, I really enjoyed the conflicts. I enjoyed the characters. And for me, I came out of this, how much I hated Greenberg, right? And nothing happens in that movie. In this movie, I don't think much happens, but the difference is they built characters that were interesting and conflicts that were interesting versus Greenberg went, wow, and built nothing.
So what's your rating?
Oh, so my rating in the end is a 7.5, pretty high.
Well, I definitely like this more than Greenberg, and I probably may have inflated my Greenberg rating because you two are such bozos about it.
See, actually, this movie made me like Greenberg better.
That's funny. I liked Oliver Platt very much, and I thought that was a totally. I think he's a good guy, and he's a good guy who was torn in directions that he certainly wasn't comfortable with himself. And I loved the fact that the admission by both Amanda Peet and then eventually Rebecca Hall that their 91-year-old grandmother who raised them both essentially after the tragedy in their lives was a bitch. And their frankness about that. I thought, and you and I disagree on this often, Jank, or not often, but sometimes. And sometimes you're with me, though. I don't need anything to happen. As long as those characters are developed and I care about the story, which you obviously didn't, Matt, I don't need to have something happen around the corner. And I sort of like it when we don't, and we get the impression that, okay, tomorrow's Tuesday, and these people who we just met are going to have a Tuesday.
So you wind up giving it a...
I gave it a B+, which in my now revamped rating system, which I have to check, is I gave it an 8.0.
Okay.
Yeah, I was much lower. I can handle a slice of life movie where nothing happens, but I'm not sure I want to watch it about upper middle class white people in the village feeling guilty about what they do. Like, that's not interesting to me. I had a moment in the movie where I thought, meanwhile across town, Precious is going down. Now, that's the more interesting story to see.
This was better than Precious.
You thought it was better than Precious? Oh,
yeah, no. See, I just
he's getting
this was
carried away.
significantly better than Precious.
And I'll tell you what made me able to sit through this was the acting ability by the characters. I mean, I thought the cast was fantastic, and I thought, the movie's decently shot. The story didn't matter to me. The conflicts didn't matter to me. If it's going to be a slice of life about that kind of angst, make it at least funnier. I didn't even find it that funny, and so I give it a 3.
All right, Matt's not playing today. Okay?
Not significantly better than Precious, but better than Precious, which had a degree of sanctimony in it.
All right, so the final average is about a 6.2, and I think that if you were, listening to this conversation, you walk away with about a 6.2.
Yeah, I brought it way down. Now I will admit that I'm definitely in the minority. Like I said, it's 81% on the tomato meter, so take my opinion for what it's worth.